Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Close Perspective. We're here at NAB 2022, and to my right is Katie Hinsen from Marvel.
Hi.
Katie,
Hello.
welcome
Thank you.
in person.
Isn't it exciting?
It's real. It really, really is. And it's funny because I've been talking to people about walking around looking at technology, and they were like, the best part of the show is just seeing people again.
Yeah. I know. Every year I come to NAB and I find a theme within the first day. And it's funny, I think this year's theme is literally just everyone's happy to be back. And that's it, and it's not a very exciting theme, but really I think that's the big thing. To be honest, I don't think the technology's moved forward that far. And I think it feels like we've just picked up where we left off. But everybody's super excited to be seeing each other, and it's a much smaller NAB this year. It's a lot quieter, which is nice.
It is.
And there's a lot just of people coming back and sharing what they do and what they love, and that's kind of nice.
It's very nice, and you must like it too, because I mean, you're a technologist.
Yeah.
I've known you for years, and you've built studios, and you built post studios and workflows and stuff like that. What was your goal for NAB this year? Were you looking for specific tools? Were you just looking to see what else, what people have been doing for 2 years?
Yeah, I never have a goal with NAB. I always just come here and to see what kind of strikes my fancy. I'm actually always here to discover something that I don't know. I think if you book an appointment or something, you book to see something, you already know it exists, then that's not what you're here for, right? Like, I love to go around the edges of the booths, the periphery of NAB, to really see what's being invented by these mom and pop shops. Futures Park, Fraunhofer, of course, one of my favorites.
Oh, sure.
And I'm also, sometimes I'll just wander onto a booth and say, what's new? Like, hey, what are you doing? Because, like I say, if I know about it before NAB, then what's the point of me coming here and talking to them about it here? I can make an appointment with somebody anytime. Really, a lot of it's just about discovering. So that's really what I come here with the goal of doing, is just to discover something I didn't know about before I came.
And Fraunhofer, I mean, for how long do you feel between when they show you something at a show like this and then the technology coming? They're pretty on point.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years.
Really?
And I think you see really early versions of things and you kind of go, what is that? And then 5 years later you go, oh, that was the thing, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes you see, I think a lot of people miss the Fraunhofer booth because they see these things that don't quite make sense, or maybe, it's very scientific. And you really have to kind of dig in and talk to the people on the booth and say, what is this thing you've been working on? Because, really, Fraunhofer is one of the research institutes that's shaping our industry. It really is. And so, if you really want to geek out, that's where you go. It's not flashy, but yeah, it's super exciting. NHK I haven't seen this year. I don't think they're here this year.
I haven't seen them either.
That's the other one that I like to...
Yeah, because they're very forward thinking. So it's technology that you're not going to use today or tomorrow, but sometime in the future. So in terms of trends, I mean, what we've been hearing and what we've been seeing is remote workflows, and virtual production.
Sure.
So just let me know what you're thinking about that, what you've seen so far.
I got to be honest. The theme of NAB last time I was here in 2019 was collaboration, and I was really hoping to see something new as the theme this year, but that's the theme again. I think it's just collaboration, but it's probably a little bit more consolidation. In terms of that whole idea of working remotely, collaborating, everyone thinks that collaboration started during the pandemic, but like I said, the theme of NAB in 2019 was collaboration. That's what everyone was showing.
It was almost like meant to be.
It was meant to be. Yeah, it was great. But I think what we're seeing now is a little bit more of that extending slightly into this consolidation. So if you look at something like Omniverse, for example, which is finally actually kind of announcing itself here this year, it's taking that collaboration a little bit further. Collaboration previously was around everybody can be using the same thing in the same timelines as long as they're in the same product and in the same kind of world. But now what we're seeing is pushing the boundaries a little bit and saying, well, you can be using different products on different clouds, on different things, and still working with really just putting a layer on things that people can work together and collaborate on the same project, even if they're in different places, in different, like I said, in different clouds and vendors and different softwares. And that's new. But that's probably the thing we're going to see a little bit more of over the coming years. And really, a lot of people are talking about metaverse and that sort of thing. And metaverse is kind of an idea and a concept. that's bringing together a lot of the ways that we collaborate and like I said, consolidating them. Mm-hmm. We don't know what metaverse is going to be, but in terms of production technology, it's a great opportunity for us to really extend our collaborative workflows and bring a lot of different things together in a lot of different ways. And you know, for me, I think I'm really interested in looking at how these tools can enhance production rather than the product. And so we're really looking at, you know, I'm really here, and my team are here really interested in looking at that stuff with how some of these tools that people are kind of, you know, bringing out for the content creation, how we can use it to actually like enhance our workflows. And that's kind of an interesting way of looking at things that I've done a little bit in the past, but now I'm really interested in.
Yeah, it's about finding ways to collaborate and create without getting stuck on the technology.
Right.
It's right. So if you had a wish list, what would you like to see?
I think definitely that consolidation. I would really love to be able to see a lot more easier collaboration, and not just, you know, not having to be bound by being within the same product family, but to again be able to collaborate across products, across user groups, even in multi-cloud, hybrid cloud environments, and also not just collaborating on the workstation, but collaborating amongst people as well at the same time. And that's a really interesting challenge. And then doing that securely is a whole other level. So, you know, it's something that I'm starting to see people recognize, that the collaboration that they brought out, you know, a couple of years ago, they're starting to mature, they're starting to do it more securely and more intelligently, enhancing it. You know, one of the biggest problems that we saw when we started going remote was that not everybody has great internet. And so how can we work with that? So yeah, it's fun seeing that stuff mature.
It's like little baby steps, and hopefully next year there'll be some actual real product that you guys can use in the real world.
Yeah, because certainly we haven't seen a lot of hardware development, you know, and that's not surprising. You know, procurement's been an issue, supply chains have been an issue.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the hardware come out probably IBC or maybe next year, because they've just been slowed down by that. Mm-hmm. But really the software is kind of what's actually had the chance to mature.
Katie, thank you so much for coming by, for sharing your wisdom, and I hope you find some interesting tools to use.
There's always lots of toys here.